I'm Anne-Marie from brambleberry.com, and today I'm going to show you a variation of the popular clay mask series that we have on our blog. This is a pumpkin clay mask, and you are going to love it. Now, what makes this really special is it's emulsified, meaning we use an emulsifying wax to blend the water and the oil together. Because of that, there are some extra safety precautions you're going to want to take. For example, all of your utensils must be disinfected in a 5% bleach water solution before you get started. Super easy to do. Distilled water, 5% bleach, dip whatever utensil you're using in, and then dry it on a dry paper towel that you just pulled right off the roll. And that's it. Your product is ready to go and to be used safely because, of course, we want to prevent any mold or bacteria from growing in this. Now, if that feels a little intimidating for you and you don't want to have to do that, you can just use this as a dry powder and not go ahead and add the water and the oils together. Because the reason that mold can grow in here is because there is water in this recipe. If there's no water in the recipe and you're just using this as a dry ingredient and then mixing the mask single use each time, you're not going to have to use either the preservative or worry about the disinfecting. So that's totally a personal preference. However, this is really great on your skin, you guys. Super creamy, super luxurious, and I love it. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure out my water, and we're going to do everything in weight. And so this is 21.4 ounces of distilled water. You never, ever, ever want to use tap water. First of all, you don't know what's in the tap water. And second of all, sometimes tap water will have heavy metals in it, which can help to really shorten the shelf life of your entire recipe. Now I'm going to heat up this water because if I add the emulsifying wax to cold water, guess what happens to the emulsifying wax? It gets hard again. So I'm going to heat this up to about 160. Now it's time to add our dry ingredients together, and this pumpkin powder, this pumpkin seed powder, you'll notice really can draw a lot of moisture from the air, so you're just going to want to break up any major clumps. By the way, if you guys are making this to sell, you want to wear gloves right about now because this is not following good manufacturing practices how I'm doing this. And this is our red Brazilian clay from Brambleberry, the dark red Brazilian clay, and that's what gives it its beautiful orange color. We are going to be stick blending all of this in, so just break up those really big clumps of that dried pumpkin seed powder. You don't have to work too hard to get kind of the smaller clumps because you will be stick blending this in, and that'll break up any of the clumps. Now this is done. Let's check our water, make sure it's 160 degrees, and then let's mix our wet ingredients together. Let's see if this water is hot enough. It's only at 136, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in for a whole nother minute. I love to use avocado oil in a lot of my facial preparations because it's such a lightweight oil and it absorbs easily into the skin, and it's really lovely. And this oat oil is brand new, and I have been enjoying it as well because of its high antioxidant qualities. Then this is our pumpkin extract, which is nourishing to the skin and is fantastic in this mask. And you know what? I use this mask all the time as just a straight up facial cleanser. So literally I'll just put it on my skin and wash my face with it and not even use it as a mask. It's that good. So now that we have our wet ingredients that are all in here and our emulsifying wax, which is the Polawax blend, because it's such a strong emulsifier, I really wanted to splurge on that. I'm going to go ahead and melt this in the microwave. Now that my oils and waxes are between 150 and 60 and my water is 150 and 60, I'm just going to add this to my hot water, and notice how it immediately starts to emulsify. And I'm going to stick blend until this is fully emulsified together. And now I'm going to start adding my dry ingredients. And so when I add my dry ingredients, I need to add them pretty rapidly because it drops the temperature down pretty quickly. And once that happens, this gets thick really fast. You'll notice this gets a little frothy, a little clumpy. Just keep stick blending. The Brambleberry stick blenders are definitely powerful enough for this. So now I'm going to check my temperatures because I want to make sure that they're low enough that they're not going to degrade my essential oil or my paraben-free preservative. I've chosen to use Optifin to prevent mold and bacteria growth in this recipe. So I'm using cedar wood, essential oil from Brambleberry. This is a really good cleansing essential oil. It's got a nice kind of musky fragrance to it. And if you can choose to go completely essential oil free or use a different essential oil for this particular recipe, but I really liked the cedarwood for its properties, for the cleansing abilities it has. I'm gonna weigh out my Optifen with your preservative. There we go. And stick blend that in so it's fully incorporated into the entire recipe. And now we're ready to pour into our bale jars. I'm gonna get these all set up so I can just pour right in a row. So when I'm pouring, I wanna make sure that you notice that there is still a little bit of steam coming off of this, or it's clearly warm. So I'm not gonna wanna cap these for a few hours. And the reason for that is if I cap them, condensation will form on the inside tops of the lids and will drip right back down into my mask. And that kind of excessive moisture sitting on top could lead to mold and bacteria growth, even though we have a preservative in there. So we don't want to give our preservative too much of a hurdle that it needs to overcome. So I'm just going to fill these to the tippy top and then let these cool for about probably 4 to 6 hours before I go ahead and put the cap on them. And then they're all ready to go. You can use them as is. You can put them on as a mask, let them dry for 10 to 15 minutes, or you can do what I do, which is just use it as a normal facial wash because it's such a wonderful emollient cleanser. And you can look for more of these recipes that are clay-based on our blog. Thanks so much for watching.